Back in December 2020, we're almost 3 months into a trip around Europe in our self-converted campervan. We've made our way south from France and we're almost at the very bottom of Spain, thoroughly enjoying the unexpected beauty the Spanish mountains had to offer. We'd planned to spend one more day out here, making the most of the remote scenery before heading back to the slightly busier Spanish coast. After all, I had just bought a kayak and Emily was determined she was going to paddle the thing in a straight line, but that is a whole other story.
Why is it not working for me?
I don't know what you're doing. Unfortunately, as we headed to our park up for the night, the truly did hit the fan.
So basically, our day has taken a little bit of a turn. The man has finally got here. So far it's not looking too good. That's what we're getting.
Emily wasn't wrong. Although the engine didn't seem to overheat, with smoke billowing from the exhaust, it was everyone's opinion it shouldn't be driven. So, with that, we packed as much of our stuff into the few bags we had, jumped in a taxi and watched as our beloved home on wheels was towed away to the nearest Citroen garage. We, on the other hand, went off to a hotel. Unbeknown to us, it was to be the first of many. Emily's giving you a nice demonstration of all the bits of our car, or our van, that are on the floor. So yeah, that's the current state of the van. You're gonna wave bye-bye? So it's only bye for now. We hit the road. I will explain why in a second, but it was to be a long journey, not just for us, but for our dog AJ. We were to travel by hire car and taxi all the way back to the UK. So, the footage you've just seen is how the Spanish garage saw fit to diagnose the fault. The AA needed a diagnosis before they would agree to tow us home, and after stripping our engine bare, the Spanish garage quoted €4,500 to replace the cylinder head, but with no guarantee this would even fix it and further diagnosis still needed. What the f***? Safe to say, we opted for a tow home. The wait for a tow truck was to be several weeks, so we had to leave the van behind and start the journey home. As you can see from the underlying footage, it took us 3 hire cars, 4 taxis, copious nights in hotels and 2 border crossings to cover the 1,500 miles to get us from the very bottom of Spain back to our home in the UK. If you watch those videos, you will already know it was quite the journey, made even more complicated by the fact it was right on top of Christmas and we coincided perfectly with the day of Brexit. Oh, and not to mention the small issue of COVID, obviously. Anyway, after our final taxi ride across the French-English border, we finally made it home, much to the delight of our dog. And even Em found herself getting a little bit overexcited by some much-missed strawberries. We just stopped up.
Look at them strawberries! Oh!
All we could really do now was wait. At this point, I should probably mention that after leaving Spain, we had received an email from the Spanish garage stating that the van had been assembled ready for transport. But, given the state we'd seen it in last, we were quite concerned, so we called the AA, who said that they wouldn't collect it if it wasn't fit for transit. The day before the van arrived back, we received a call from the chap driving the transporter, telling us to expect the worst. Apparently the van was in quite the state. Here's what happened next.
So, van is here. It's going to be a bit of a nightmare. The engine's like pretty much hanging off, so yeah, we'll see what else is happening inside. That's our engine right there, just hanging. So, happy pants over here.
The reason we were having such trouble getting it off the truck is because the bottom half of the engine had been left hanging only on one mount, meaning the entire thing and the full weight of the bottom half of the engine was now sitting on the drive shaft, making it very difficult for the van to roll. This in itself was bad enough. What we were about to find inside the van and under the bonnet, well, that was a hell of a lot worse. And again.
Are you ready to have a look in?
Are you want to go now?
Or do you? We haven't seen inside the van either, so this is the first time that we're looking in it as well, so yeah. I just can't even look. Oh my god. Oh my f. Well, it looks rusty, doesn't it?
Yeah, all we've got to do now is get that light out of there, reassemble it in here, and I know that they've nicely covered up put the cap back on. That's handy, isn't it?
Yep, yep.
Good evening folks, welcome back to the channel. Apologies for the massively long-winded recap, but for those of you that are new here, we just wanted to add a bit of context as to why what we're about to tell you is so important to us.
So if you are new here, welcome to our channel. And for those of you that have been on this journey with us, we're going to cut straight to the chase and let you know what's gone on. Now, the last time that you saw the van, it was being towed away to Citroen here in the UK. There she goes. Off to Citroen. Bye bye, Fanny.
So you may remember that after seeing the state the van was returned in, we contacted them and they did agree to come and pick it up and take it off for diagnosis entirely at their cost. Now I've got to be honest, I wasn't holding out much hope because to diagnose it at that point in the state it was in would have been difficult to say the least.
And at this point there was some confusion as the garage that it was going to thought that they was just going to do a simple diagnosis, which is basically hook up, read the fault code.
Well done. I thought you was going to cock up the fault code bit.
Nope.
This obviously wasn't going to be possible because to try and plug it in and just diagnose it, well, there was nothing to plug in. The engine, everything was out. The head gasket, you've seen the pictures. The whole entire contents of our bonnet pretty much was in the habitation end of our van. So for them to diagnose it wasn't really going to be possible. But even though they didn't really know what state they was getting it in, and we contacted them and we sent them the pictures direct to the actual garage it went to, they still agreed to take it and give it a go, didn't they? Which I was quite surprised at because I was expecting a main dealer to sort of say no.
Yeah, Catherine was amazing, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She really was. She knew her stuff.
Right then, so here we go. This is the one that everyone's been waiting for. So the original diagnosis, the best as they could diagnose it, given the state it was in, it was the heat exchange unit. Now, they did say it's a common fault on this engine and it does often get missed.
Yeah, the reason that they picked it up is because they've had experience with it before, so he did say that it is an easy one to miss.
Yep, and how much was it going to cost?
£280 for the original fault if it was diagnosed correctly.
Yeah, which is a bit of a kick in the teeth at this point because we're like, well, now it's going to cost us thousands to get a whole new engine. But anyway, so we went back to Citroen, well, they went back to Citroen on our behalf, didn't they? And they said to Citroen, look, this is the original, this is the best we can diagnose it in the state it's in. We think it's this, but at this point, and I think everyone agreed, including us, including the majority of you, that it was just best to put a whole new engine in there.
Yes.
And the Citroen garage that it went to in Margate did contact Citroen head office and say that it does need that. So Citroen head office asked for a price from them.
Yep.
Which was many, many thousands. Obviously, being a main dealer is a lot more expensive than if we'd used a local independent garage. So they gave the price back to Citroen. And Citroen actually rung us, didn't they? It took a bit of time, all this back and forth. There was a few phone calls, wasn't there?
There was a few phone calls, chasing up quotes and chasing up this and chasing up that. So yeah, back and forth a little bit, wasn't it?
Yeah, and eventually they offered to pay half of the cost to fix the original fault and to replace the engine. Now, half the original cost with the main dealer was not far off the entire cost with an independent. So at this point, I was a bit like, well, it's Citroen that cocked it up in the first place.
Yeah.
Why am I going to give them my money when I can have it done for almost the same price at a local garage? We'd lost enough at this point already, hadn't we? So I rung them up and said, thank you so much for the offer, but we just don't think that 50% really warrants the amount of damage that's now been done to the inside of our engine.
Not just that, the stress, the time, the aggro was, not worth 50%.
But this is where it gets good, and this is where the shocking news comes, because literally with about 2 hours,
An hour
after that, they rung back, and I was expecting maybe for them to stretch to 60%, but they actually rung back and they said, you know what, we're just going to cover the entire cost to replace the engine, fix the original fault, put the whole thing back together, and we're going to do the whole lot. So I went, please can I have that in writing? They went yes, and within the hour we had it in writing. The garage had the information, didn't they?
Yep. Yes, I'm still shocked now. Because, yeah, they had it in writing. It was, I still can't
Can't get over it.
Yeah, because amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yep, so I rung the garage that had the van, and they said, yep, we've got all the written approval from Citroen, we're going to go ahead, we're going to order the engine. It'll take about 10, so it's not a brand new engine, it's a reconditioned engine. It'll take about 10 days to get the engine, and then their techs needed a few days to work on it, and we should have been able to pick it up in a few weeks. Now, the reason this video has taken a bit of time to get to you, there was some hold-ups, but I've got to say, it wasn't the garage that it went to's fault. I mean, we had that snow for a start that held everything up, then COVID vaccinations and stuff like that, and they were brilliant. I cannot fault that Citroen dealership in Margate that it went to, because from start to finish, from the minute they agreed to take it, right up until the day I went and collected it, they were absolutely brilliant, weren't they?
They were brilliant, and to the point where they gave us a van so we could take AJ to the
So
vets.
what happened is I went to pick it up, which is why we thought this video would be out earlier, but it wasn't. I went to pick it up, and I got there and they said, Margate's about an hour from us, so it's a bit of a drive, and it said, they said, you can't take it because it's not finished. Well, I was stranded there at this point. They'd found another fault. Once they'd got it all back together, they found another fault, which was the fan assembly unit, so the high speed and low speed cooling fans. Now, they don't know if that was the original fault or if that's something that's developed as the engine because of it. So that is the best we're going to get on a full diagnosis. It was a problem basically with the cooling system for the van, so the heat exchange unit and the cooling fan assembly. I think I've got that right, but we haven't got the final invoice information or anything yet. But yeah, so that is as best I can give you. Now, I know some of you are going to say, what about this, what about that? I don't know. That is all the information.
That is it, yeah. So, you know, sorry, it's just in my throat. I've got a frog in my throat. Yeah, we don't know any more than that. That is what we've been told. So I know there's so many people out there that have suggested it could be this, could be that. This is what we've been told.
This is what we've been told. This is what they fixed. I've run it now for a good few days and it seems okay. Obviously, I'm checking the coolant level all the time. Every time I go outside, I'm like, I'll just check the coolant level. Just check the coolant level. Because obviously when we had the original breakdown, that kept dropping. Before it got bad, that kept dropping. But yeah, anyway, my point was they had to then replace the cooling fan assembly unit, so they had to order that. Now, I was very upset because I had to get AJ, our dog, has just had a major operation and I needed to get him to the vet. So they offered me a Peugeot 108 to get me home and I was like, are you kidding me? How can I get a dog in that? And they was a bit like, dog? But they was very kindly, they went off and they found me a little van, a Peugeot Partner, I think it was, which they lent me for the day that I could take away. I took AJ to the vet and then the next day they'd got their part fitted, done another whole lot of diagnostics, more rechecks, a road test and everything like that. And they said, no, it's definitely ready. So I went to pick it up. And the very next day after that, you guys saw me driving it around.
Yes, we had someone message us, didn't we?
Yeah.
Darren, what I think his name was?
Yeah.
He was like, I've seen it.
Yeah, so we was spotted out and about. And that was Thursday. And the first thing I had to do with it, as many of you eagle-eyed subscribers would have told us, is it needed its MOT.
Yes. It did need its MOT.
Straight to the MOT test centre I went, and she passed with flying colours, not even a single advisory, and I don't know how, because the front tyres are a bit...
Don't go on about tyres. Don't anybody say about them.
So yeah, as far as we're concerned, at the moment, she's running perfectly. She doesn't need anything for the MOT. She is good to go.
But when all of yous are out on whenever the 12th of April, we won't be, because AJ's still poorly. Yeah, so we can't get out until May. May, people, May.
We can't adventure yet. And I just want to say, I know some of you have got a cob on that we won't tell you everything like individually by messages. And the reason being, there's just so many people that want to know and that have been involved and stuff like that. We just physically don't have the time to respond to all of those messages. And it's a lot of information to get in. Yeah. To the point where, because we want to share this with you, because you came on that journey with us in real time, we want to share this with you as and when it happens. To the point, the van's been back, 4 days? Emily's not even been inside it.
Because she's just horrible to me.
No, obviously I had to pick it up, so I had to drive it, but we did want to make sure that we share all of this with you guys together. So we're going to finish this video in Fanny, because I know a lot of you are dying to get in Fanny. Why would you not be?
I can't wait to get in Fanny. I can't wait to get in Fanny.
You've done one yourself.
It's horrendous.
So yeah, we'll take you there now. So here she is. Not Emily, Fanny. Typical that when we're trying to film, there's someone cutting the grass with a big lawnmower, so excuse that. You ready?
I am ready. Key in hand.
Before we do this, should we just have one more look at last time you opened this door?
I just can't even look. Oh my god. Oh my f. I can never open the door with one hand. Oh, we've got to unlock it. Central lock in my house.
Ever the pro.
It's the bottom one, right?
No, it's the top one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Top one, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, so hard. Oh, look how well, she's not clean, but she is cleaner than what she was before. So exciting. Oh, it's so nice to be back. Do you know what thing?
Uh-huh.
Lou slept out here. I haven't been allowed out here.
Yeah, for security reasons.
Yeah. Take the house. Do what you want with the house. Don't take out there. I'm back in my rightful place. Any snacks in here? Am I emptied it? Oh, you took them all out.
The snacks out
Come all out.
to travel back across Spain.
I knew I should have brought some snacks in with me. I've got some popcorn in the house.
So yeah, for those of you that have missed that, and for those of you that are really new here and have never really seen her, this is Fanny. Fanny is the name of the van. If you've not cottoned on to all the Fanny innuendos, and she does need a bit of a clean.
Yes, she does.
And one thing that baffles me, and I don't know if you can shed some light on this, but down here this slides out, and this is where our toilet is. And when I pick the van up, where did I put it? For some reason,
It's in here.
yeah, someone has removed the entire handle, and I found that on the floor with all 4 screws sat next to it. We didn't do that, did we?
No, why would we?
So I've got no idea why that handle was missing.
Oh,
Feels good?
it feels really, really good. Honestly, it's just like... And I've got to work for the rest of the day, so I can't even enjoy her and like clean her out and stuff.
Yeah, Fanny does need a clean. But dirty Fanny, ain't you?
You're not even funny. You right?
Yeah, I just got to...
Fatty?
Hi.
Get your fat butt in, can you?
See the abuse I've put up with. You think it's me taking the piss out of her all the time?
We've got to go on a diet because of our clothes are just getting a little bit too tight.
Yeah, since we got back from Spain, and because of the lockdown, and because AJ can't go on long walks, we are putting on weight, aren't we?
Yes, we are. So, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not being rude. We've got a camera in the house, so we're watching AJ just to make sure that he's okay. So
yeah, this is the first time we've left him. A lot of you have asked, so we will do a quick AJ update. He is on the mend. The scab is healing really, really well.
Yeah.
Isn't it? He's still only allowed out twice a day for like 5 to 10 minutes at a time only. And he still does require 24/7 supervision because he's a knob and he will try and jump on the sofa.
Yeah, so like our sofas at the moment have got chairs all over them, so that like our dining chairs, so you can't get up there and stuff, but he's laying down, so it's good. So I'm just going to have this so I can keep my eagle eye on him.
Yeah, and he is still in the cone. He's got at least another 3 or 4 days in the cone.
Yeah, he's back to the vets on Friday, and then he should be able to have the cone off then.
Yeah, we won't film him today because we just don't want to unsettle him. The more he keeps getting up and down, it's not good for him. So
yeah.
But yeah, next video it will definitely feature.
Yes.
I've written a couple of notes because there's a few things we want to make sure we say before we finish the video because we always bloody forget, don't we?
And we always waffle, so...
So first of all, the final piece that I mentioned in the house, the extra fan assembly unit, Citroen also paid for that as well, didn't they? We just rung them up and they went, yep, we'll pay for that bit as well, and that was all sorted.
Yeah.
Which was huge. We never used the video. When we put the video out of this van coming back, it got a hell of a lot of views, didn't it? And we not once have we mentioned our social media following, sent them the video or anything like that. Whether they've seen the video, we don't know, but it's never ever been mentioned.
No. not by us, and we've never had conversations about it with them.
No, so I just wanted to put that out there in case everyone thinks, well, they've only done it because you've got a social media following. That may be the case, but we've never used it. And also, we didn't kick off throughout this whole process. We just... I know a lot of you wanted us to, sue them and do this and do that and kick off. That's not how we generally deal with things in the first instance, is it?
That's used to be how I deal with things, but age has gotten the best of me, and experience has gotten the best of me, and we just found that it works better when you're just calm, cool, and like Louise.
And also, I find that if your first reaction is always kicking off, then you're already at maximum stress level, so there's no point. If you're going to kick off, I think you build up to that.
Yeah.
And also, this has dragged on for months. If we'd have started kicking off months ago, we would have been stressed. So the best thing for us to do was just go, do you know what? It's lockdown. We can't go anywhere. Take it away.
Yeah.
What happens, happens. We wasn't expecting them to foot the bill for the entire thing. And, yeah.
It's worked out okay.
Which leads us on to thank yous. We want to say a massive thank you to Citroen head office in the UK for sorting it all out. Like I said, we wasn't expecting it at all, was we?
No.
A huge thank you to the Citroen garage down in Margate that handled it all. I've said it before, they were absolutely fantastic throughout the whole thing. The team there were really great. Every time, I was starting to get a bit impatient, so I rang them a few times for a date and this, that and the other, and they was always polite and always accommodating and always got back to us. So
yeah, they're really good. You cannot fault them at all.
No, so if anyone does have a Citroen or a Peugeot and is looking for a decent main dealer in the southeast of England, highly recommend the one in Margate.
Definitely.
I want to say a massive thank you to you guys. Now, most of you will remember, and most of you probably bought a sticker. Once this all happened, we got so many messages saying, can we donate, can we do this? We don't have a Patreon or anything like that, so we said, well, we'll make a few stickers, sell them, and then the people that want to help out, at least they're buying something, then they're getting something.
Yeah.
It went mental, didn't it?
Yes. So, just cannot thank you enough for how supportive, not just through buying the stickers, but for all of the messages, all of the emails, and I still think there's some that I still haven't been able to get back to just because so many, but we thank you.
Yeah, so although we won't use that money now to buy the engine, at that particular time, that sheer volume of just mass support that came through for our state of mind and our morale was just...
It really helped us.
It was overwhelming, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and it really did help us.
But we are going to use that money, hopefully everyone's okay with this, but we're going to donate that money to charity because it was to fix the engine, not for us personally, so we'd be happier, wouldn't we?
Yes.
Donating that to charity.
It will be a dog or animal charity, of course.
It more than likely will. Please don't bombard us with loads of suggestions because we're not going to be able to donate to everybody's favourite charity, so we will pick one that we think is relevant. And
yes.
What with lockdown ending soon, I think there's going to be a lot of COVID puppies that find themselves in homes, so we'd like to use it for some sort of dog charity. And that is about it, I think.
We're going to take some time off.
Yeah, the time off that we keep threatening, we are actually going to take. It just makes sense. We've seen other people that do this YouTube lark, they get burnt out, and although we're not there at the minute, it makes sense. AJ can't go anywhere, we can't go anywhere, so it just makes perfect sense that if we take a few weeks off, so probably 2 or 3 weeks off.
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks off because I need Louise to be rested because I've got some van updates.
Oh yeah, she wants to make some changes, but that is a story for another time.
Any suggestions? Let me know.
No, I've got enough suggestions. But we are going to we know there's going to be so many comments and questions, so on Sunday, 8 o'clock, we're going to, before we take our time off, we're going to do a live.
Yes.
Live in Fanny. I wonder if YouTube will kick off if I call it Live in Fanny. From Fanny Live. Deep inside Fanny Live.
Look at the little hamster going around on the little wheel in your head.
Apologies if any children are watching, but the van is called Fanny and that is the point of the innuendo. So yeah, hopefully you'll join us on Sunday.
Yes, please do, and save any questions for then, and yeah.
Yep, and if you found this video useful or you want to be part, because that was our pre-run, that little mini adventure that we had in Europe was our pre-run. If you want to be part of the next adventure, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. It is the best way to help us out.
We have got big plans.
We do have some big plans, and we will see you on Sunday.
Bye.
I don't know what I'd do without you.